Hey guys, it is Holy Basil back with another video, and I figured I would walk y'all through a typical day before work. Here I am waking up early, as you can see. I'm trying to be quiet and get all my pre-workout stuff done, and kind of have a ritual. I'm not the most organized person, but I am ritual. And as far as pre-workout goes, pre-workout base, I am very cheap. I like Nutricost because the price to quality is great. Now, I'm not sponsored, but that would be amazing. And anyway, the best supplements for you to take pre-workout, I would say some type of caffeine if you like that. L-citrulline is going to help with the pump. Sometimes I take glycerol. It's also going to help with the pump. And I enjoy taking creatine too, even though it won't have any immediate effects in that workout. That's going to be long term. Anything else is just going to be overkill. Something I've been doing every day before work or before school for the past over a decade now has been reading my Bible. As a Christian, it's been very important to me to start off my day getting into God's Word and to learn about Him and His nature. Sometimes I follow structured plans such as devotionals or studies. Other times I'll just read throughout a book over the course of a month, and more often than not, I'll read something from Old Testament, something from the New Testament, and then some type of proverb or psalm that I can try to memorize or that can be a go-to throughout the day when I need strength. I like to take notes as I read, write down things that stick out to me, or write down questions that I have. Oftentimes, I'll look them up on sources such as gotquestions.org or Enduring Word and pray about things. I like to write down what I'm thankful for, the things that I've been praying for, and what God has been doing in my life. If you're watching this and you don't have a consistent routine in reading God's Word or praying, then I encourage you to. Sometimes it's good to get out of a routine and to mix it up and do it at different times, but staying with a consistent time is going to help lead to a lot of progress and growth. I will admit it's easy to get distracted in the mornings, especially as you're drinking your caffeine, to get on your phone and to look at whatever social media that you use, or YouTube or Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it might be. But I encourage you not to, because that's just going to throw you off course. And working out before work, time is very precious. I'd like to do better at giving God my undivided attention. After I've read my Bible and prayed, I'll usually go to the bathroom really quick. Then it's down to the garage basement for a solid workout. I try to sit down and write my workout out before I do it. It usually ensures I stay on track. Lately, I've been doing a full body routine. I try and do something for upper body, something for lower body, and some type of accessory work for abs, calves, or neck. I've been running the 5-3-1 program for a couple lifts. I've been enjoying that with the AMRAPs. Do feel like I've stagnated a little bit, but hopefully I can bust through some plateaus in the near future. I will say it can be difficult working out at home because the motivation can really be lacking. You don't have anybody watching you. I'm not saying that you want to show off or to put on a show, but there's not as much of a level of holding accountable when it's just you. And that takes some getting used to, a definite amount of stoicism, you could say. I'm just trying to slab on some mass in some unconventional ways. I've run lots of programs in the past. Some have had good results, some have not. I'm not the strongest guy, I'm not the biggest guy, I'm not the leanest guy. I'm just a guy, and I enjoy working out every single day. And if you've never run a structured program in your life, I encourage you to. It's just going to add so much more potential for growth. Now, I used to get fixated on programs or exercise selection, but lately with YouTube and I feel like some of my favorite influencers have really stress the importance of effort and intensity, and it's not really as much the exercise, which I do think you have to like it and it has to make sense, but it's about how much you strive within it. So don't get caught up with it, but a program is just going to allow you to stay within your means and to advance, because you can't just expect to do all these different exercises and to progress. Because when I was in college, I thought that you had to really confuse the muscle like it was this big mighty brain. But just like with anything, I think less is more. And if you're trying to be the best electrician possible, you're not going to take up plumbing at the same exact time. You're going to focus on electricity. Well, whatever, but you get my point. And before I forget, I just want to shout out Max Tuning. I remember 5-6 years ago when I first started really getting into YouTube fitness, watching it. He was one of the first channels I found, and I just enjoyed watching all of his content, and I really enjoyed like the day in the life type videos that he made. So I figured I'd make my own rendition. Recently, my boy Nick Jenkins posted a video talking about kind of like a stagnant relationship with God. And I'll be honest, I've kind of felt that lately here too, because my mind has been on all the wrong things. I am due for a child to be born in September. We're having a little girl, and that has been kind of stressful for us. Of course, it's a blessing, it's a good thing, but with that comes a lot of uncertainty. And I'll be honest, I've really been consumed by my phone and media in general, just either watching things or just being distracted. And not necessarily bad things or things that are having a bad influence upon my spirit life. But if it's not glorifying my relationship with God, is it a good thing? Sometimes I just feel like a zombie staring at my phone, and my wife will sometimes, if I'm in the next room, she'll say, "What are you doing?" And I'll just be honest and say, "Rotting my brain," because that's what's happening. I'm looking at things that are not benefiting me, and I'd be much better in either isolation, free thought, or just a little peace and quiet. With my career choice of being a nurse and being a bedside nurse, it's just constant chaos, I feel. There are call bells going on, and I don't have any sort of structure in my day. I constantly get interrupted for other tasks, whether urgent or not emergent at all, like getting people ice. And that's okay. That comes with the job. But I just feel like it's so hard for me to rest, to have a culture of stillness in my life. When you talk to people, "Oh, how you been?" And they always respond, "Oh, been busy." Well, I don't want that. I want to find rest. I want to find peace. And it's okay to be busy sometimes, because I know I'm about to have a child and my life is going to get a lot more busy. And that's okay. But so much we just intentionally cast ourselves into busyness for the sake of being busy. And I want to do a better job of finding rest, being at peace, and just having a still soul. Recently, I watched the Chosen episode, and part of it depicted the parable or the story of Mary and Martha's interaction with Jesus. I'll read out of Luke chapter 10, verse 38. While they were traveling, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary who also sat at the Lord's feet and was listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks, and she came up and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to serve alone? So tell her to give me a hand." The Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has made the right choice, and it will not be taken from her." So often we get focused on what we can accomplish, what we can get done, what we can do for God, what we can give, what we can serve, when in reality, Jesus wants us to spend time with Him. Now, of course, we'll show fruit for God when we have a relationship with Him. It's just like in marriage. If all you want to do is serve your spouse, but not spend time with them, one, what's the point? And two, the spouse, just like Jesus, wants to spend time with us. Nick Jenkins, in his last video, focused on what we do for God and that we could never outgive God. There's nothing that we could do for God that He couldn't do or has done for Himself. He doesn't need us. He wants us to do things for us, but He doesn't need us to do things. Martha, just like us, got caught up in a legalistic gospel. What can I do for Jesus? How can I serve Him? Well, listen up. That stuff's good, but if you first don't get the point of spending time with Him, that's going to mean nothing. Because just like those people that you spend time with and their habits and their characteristics start to wear off on you, the same could be said for when we spend time with Jesus, that His qualities will wear off on us. Then it'll be easier to serve God and to do His will because He'll give us strength and the desire to do His will. We will find joy in that. So now, as you can see, I'm on my way to work through the beautiful mountains of East Tennessee. This drive to work takes me about 25 minutes, and man, it is so pretty. I like to listen to worship songs as I drive just to get my mind right for the day, because it's so easy to get sour or negative or impatient or anxious, but you can combat that by creating a heart of worship.